Here is State Senator Mallory McMurrow. She's in the Michigan State Capitol. She's running for, I think, Senate in Michigan as well. She's talking about this disaster of a bill that the Senate is en route to passing. And it is a massive transfer of wealth to the wealthy. Government, and here's the bottom line, government always redistributes money. Always, always. Every government that has ever existed, in fact, probably every society that has ever existed, redistributes wealth in one form or another. That is like literally the function. It is impossible to have a society where there is not a redistribution of wealth. It's almost definitional to the name. It may not be, currency that is redistributed, but it's just impossible. So the question always is, in which way is it flowing? Which way does it flow? And this bill is a massive redistribution of money to the top. Play this clip.
Today, we are on the verge of the single largest redistribution of wealth from poor and working class Michiganders to the rich in our nation's history. That's what we're staring down in this so-called big, beautiful bill. And sure, if you're already wealthy, this bill is going to be great for you. If you earn more than $715,800, congratulations, you will get a tax cut of over $50,000. That tax cut alone is significantly higher than the $39,500 that the average Michigander earns in an entire year. Are you a foreign investor? Congratulations. Collectively, you will all get $23 billion in tax cuts next year alone. Are you in a position to leave more than $7 million to your heirs? Congratulations. You will get a cut to the estate tax. But how does this bill pay for all of this? By cutting the services that you rely on. This big bad bill cuts more than $200 billion from food assistance, potentially affecting 4 million children and 7 million adults nationwide. In Michigan, SNAP provides vital food assistance to over 1.4 million Michiganders. That's approximately 15% of our state's population. SNAP dollars fuel $2 billion in economic activity supporting farms and grocery stores, especially in our rural communities. But colleagues, proponents of this bill, and I have heard it here today, will argue that it's just about cutting so-called waste, fraud, and abuse, and that these cuts are necessary, and that enacting these cuts will benefit everybody. That argument is a flat-out lie. The University of Michigan economist Justin Wolfers analyzed the impact of all of the Trump policies combined. The cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP found in this big bad bill, the tax cuts here that overwhelmingly benefit the rich, and Trump's reckless tariff policy that adds cost to the food and the goods that so many of us rely on in our daily lives, with that additional cost not borne by the country of origin, not borne by the importer, not borne by the retailer, but passed on to you. Combined over the next 10 years, here's how those policies will impact you. If you are in the lowest 10% of earners making just under $19,000 a year, you will lose $2,600. If you're in the lowest 25% of earners making $40,000 a year, you will lose $1,600. If you're the median income earner, if you make $80,000 a year, you will lose $1,200. If you're in the top 75% of earners making $1,770, you will lose $600. If you're in the top 80% of earners, you will lose $500. Are you picking up on a trend here? But if you happen to be in the top 10% of earners earning over $250,000 a year, congratulations. You will gain an average of $7,200. 90% of Americans will lose money over the next 10 years to give the wealthiest 10% of Americans more money. That's insane. 50 years of trickle-down economics has shown us clearly that it simply does not work. The wealthiest Americans are wealthier than they ever have been before, while just about everyone else, from low income to middle class, is struggling to make ends meet. But do not fret.
And for those who still out there laughably cite the Laffer curve and the idea that somehow we're going to get more revenue because we've cut taxes, because it's going to spur such a huge GDP growth. Go back to 2017. Go back to look at the promises of 4% growth that never, ever, ever materialized with those tax cuts. Never, ever. Let's go to the IMs. R.M. Brown shared a video last Friday of Tim Pool name dropping and attempting to mock you, Sam. Might be fun to take a look if you want to have a laugh. I think we're going to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, check out tomorrow.
Matt, I have not seen it yet, but Matt mentioned it.
It's good stuff.
He's so good at that.
He's very upset, and he
is he very upset? Do we change the audio?
That's why we have to do it tomorrow. Is I got to run it through my audio filters.
Okay. Get the call down to Audio Tech. Tell those guys they're going to work all night because we're going to need this stuff by tomorrow morning when we start the show. Tell them that nobody goes home tonight until that audio stuff is done.
But I wanted to go to the beach.
I don't care about the beach. Hey, for weeks, all we've heard is how Trump's big, beautiful bill will cut Medicaid. But almost no one's reporting on a buried provision that would make Trump untouchable. Go to ground.news/majority to see how this bill would block judges from enforcing court orders unless you, the citizen, post a bond first. Highly credible sources warn most people can't actually afford to do this, and that's pretty obvious. So if this bill passes and Trump violates the law, it wouldn't even matter, and nobody even knows. Which means the GOP's flood the zone strategy is working. And it's why I think Ground News is the best tool to expose these blind spots before it's too late. My partners built the only app and website pulling in news from across the globe, then breaking down each source's bias, credibility, and the news the right tries to bury. And considering most people take the first article they see online as fact, their browser extension is essential. What it does is it flags the source's bias and links other credible reports to verify the information. Ground News is a better version of how we're already staying informed. So I got you 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I've been using. That's just $5 a month when you go to ground.news/majority, scan my QR code, or redeem the code majority if you're using the app. With at least another 4 years of this, they're counting on you to be distracted. This app is how you stay focused. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.